Alright, so how did you know it was the one, babe? You just saw me in it and you thought, oh yeah.
To be honest, I'm still not 100% sure. Like, I'm still asking God
You're
about
not
you.
serious.
Still asking God about you. With that confirmation.
You had your confirmation a long time ago. Well, hello beautiful people. We are super excited. Welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back, guys.
I don't know why I'm so happy tonight. Doesn't matter, but I think it's because of the video topic. But first things first, there are 6K of you. When did that happen? But we want to say thank you guys so much for subbing to us and showing us love and just continuing to watch our content. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And
we're going to be pushing more out for you guys.
Cool. So without wasting too much time, we're about to go straight into this juicy topic. How to know if your bae is the one. Yeah,
so first things first, we are going to be talking about our whole opinion on the concept of the one. Then we're going to share some questions that we both had to ask ourselves about each other to kind of help us decide that we were the one for each other. Woo! And then as always, guys, you know us already. We're going to leave you guys with some tips that we hope will help you guys decide whether your bae or your future bae or your future bae is the one for you. So let's get started.
Absolutely. So guys, first things first, where do we stand on the concept of the one? The idea that there is only one person for you in this entire planet who's meant for you, and if you miss that person, if you missed that bus stop, if you didn't go to that party, if you didn't jump in that person's DMs, that's it. You're going to be single for the rest of your life.
Soz.
That's it. That would be pretty sad, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we actually believe that you choose the one based on decisions that you make about the person when you initially start dating them and you get a feel of who they are, really. Yeah. Equally, guys, we just do not believe in the whole fairy tale scenario of falling in love and like you hit your head and like you're, oh my gosh, roses, we're gonna be in love forever. Like, no, like we just don't. Like, of course, when you first meet someone, the attraction is initially what draws you to them, and that, I'm not gonna lie, that's just how I felt. Like I was feeling the guy, you know, light skin, you know, look at his picture. Sorry, I love him in pink, by the way, guys. Anyway, back on the subject. Like, it takes more than that initial attraction to someone to keep that relationship going. Yeah. And it's more to do with them on the inside than them on the outside, really. So yeah, trust us when we say it takes a whole lot more than fireworks to keep your relationship going.
Cool, so now that you know our thoughts on the idea of the one, we're going to share with you some questions that we had to ask ourselves to be able to decipher whether we were the one for each other. So the first question I asked myself was, am I on the same wavelength as Zoe when it comes to our core beliefs? Being a Christian myself, I just didn't want it to be that I had a completely different belief system to my future wife, my partner, and yeah, so I had to ask myself that question, and quite honestly, that was an easy one for me to tick off because we did have, we both are Christians, and to be honest, some people don't believe that that is a super important thing, but for us, we truly do. I mean, marriage can be difficult enough as it is, talk less of when you have a total different ideology on life. So yeah, definitely, that was one of the first questions. Had to tick that box real quick.
Okay, so one question I had to ask myself, and I'm sure loads of ladies will have to ask this question as well, is what are your aspirations in life? Like, genuinely, he knew how ambitious I was about my future, and when we got talking, I realized how ambitious he was. You know, we wanted to do loads of things. We wanted to achieve so many different things. We wanted to buy a house. We wanted to build our future together. Like, we were on the same page with that. And I feel like when your partner is not on the same page as you with regards to your ambition, it can be a bit difficult because you won't know how to really progress forward. But if you're agreed, then that's really good and you can kind of continue going. So that was one box like I was able to tick as well. And yeah, I was super excited for that one.
So another thing I had to ask myself was, am I attracted to Zoe? And Obviously, a lot of people probably think that I'm talking purely about physical attraction. And that's massively important, don't get twisted. Obviously, we've got two eyes, so you're going to see your partner. That's probably going to be the person you wake up to for the rest of your life, so you better be attracted to them in some way. But, I mean, more importantly than just physical attraction, you need to be attracted to their character. So I had to ask myself, am I attracted to her character? And at times, it's not very easy to know that straight away because someone's character is kind of masked a little bit when you're first meeting them because they're on their best behavior. But as time progresses and as that person's character matures and hopefully they let all those guards down, you get to see a bit more whether that person's character is definitely something that you can, you know, tick that box, or like you need to run because that person's character is not. I mean, it's not, but real talk is important because you're gonna probably be raising kids with that person eventually one day or something like that, and if that person's character is a madness, you're really not going to have a great time in your relationship. So definitely you want to tick that box. And another thing as well, something massively important for me was, does she respect me? And I think it's like a guy thing, but it's not just guys, but I know for me, like, I don't know, there's something about a woman that respects you that makes you just feel like, yeah, I am right, like, or whatever it might be.
Really?
Yeah, no, okay. Maybe not like that, but I guess when you are on the receiving end of respect, it makes you feel like you can perform better in your position in that relationship. So it goes for both women and guys, I guess, but I think for me, it was definitely something that was really important for me. I wanted my partner, I wanted my eventual wife to respect me, not just for how, you know, intelligent or how right I am or wrong I am, whatever, but just because they wanted to do that. And that's a massive thing for me.
100%. And just off the back of that, love for me was one as well. Like I had to ask myself, is this guy gonna really love me, especially through the hard times? Because in the past, that's what I really wanted. I realized in relationships is just that kind of staying type love, that, you know, I'm obviously not perfect, I have flaws, you know, you guys know that I've said it already in previous videos, or if I haven't, like, I used to have a sharp mouth.
Used to?
Listen, I used to have a sharp mouth, but now I'm getting much better. But like, just being able to stay with me in love during like really hard times. And when I got with Tosin, obviously I didn't know it immediately, but when we really got to know each other and we had arguments, I would just realize how much he didn't want to run away from the situation, but instead he wanted to solve the situation and actually help me get better in certain areas. So that was a big one, a big tip for me. So yeah.
So, as well as those questions that you have to ask yourself, and we believe there's probably tons of more questions that you could ask that's going to help you to know, we also believe that there's going to be some real key defining moments as you go about your relationship that's going to help you to know, you know what, that person is the one. Yeah,
so there are so many defining moments I can think of, but I'm just going to share one of them with you guys today, and it's really close to my heart. Only close family and friends know this, but 4.5 years ago, my father passed away. He was very sick. Around that time, our whole family, we were all in bits because it wasn't something we expected to happen so quickly. I remember getting a call to come to the hospital the day it happened, and rushing over with my sister and all my family. We were there. But I was just so broken, and that whole week, you can imagine, it was just such a tough, listen guys, tough time. But I remember just feeling so broken and not really knowing what to do. And I called Tosin when I was at the hospital. And I was just like, babe, he was really worried because he was at work. And he just didn't really know that much detail about what was going on. And I called him and I was just all over the place, but I was just like, you know, babe, I really don't know what's going on. I was just kind of not even making that much sense. But Tosin, within like an hour, I swear, he was there. He came to the hospital. He was with my family. Guys, to the point of my dad's passing moment, Tosin was in the room with my family. And that was such a crazy moment, because he didn't have to be in that, he didn't have to put himself in that situation. He had never seen anything like that before. He had never seen anyone in that state before. But he chose to be there with me and my family, and it's one thing that we absolutely just all appreciate him for. And I know my dad absolutely would as well. My dad loved Tosin too, and I'm so grateful he got to meet him before we got married. But yeah, that was one defining moment. It showed me that Tosin will love me even in the craziest of moments and just be there for me. And, you know, as soon as that happened, yeah, even though it was all over the place, at the back of my mind, I thought, yeah, I'm marrying this guy. I'm going to marry this guy. I'm going to marry.
Do you know what's mad is, even though that was a crazy time for both of us, I remember thinking to myself as well, like, as we were in that room and... I remember I was just holding your hand and the whole family was around in that moment as well, even though it was such a terrible and crazy thing to happen. I remember thinking to myself as well, man, I absolutely love this girl like to bits, and it felt like I was losing my father as well. And it's crazy, but I guess a lot of you guys probably know as well that sometimes the worst moments in your life are sometimes the times where you cleave to the people that you love the most. And that's exactly how I felt as well. And I felt like a real glue that was just bonding us together from then onwards. So yeah, that was a real key defining moment for me too. So I guess another key defining moment for me was the year before I proposed. Again, only really close family know about this, but that was probably the worst year of our relationship, actually, the year before I proposed. We were just in a space that was just, it was bad. We had said some things, we had done some things to each other that were just, in our eyes at the time, just unforgivable. And we pretty much thought that we were going to break up. We couldn't see how we would be able to see eye to eye kind of further from there. And I remember getting to New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, going into the day, and just thinking to myself, this has to be the make or break year. Like, we're going into a new year, and either I'm gonna be with this girl for the rest of my life, or I'm not. So there needs to be crunch. There needs to be a crunch time. So I remember saying to myself, right, can I be with Zoe for the rest of my life, regardless of, you know, some of the things that we've struggled with in the past and the hurts and so on and so forth. In that moment, I just felt like just a crazy peace that just came upon me, and it felt like, wow, like, yeah, absolutely. What, like, it's a no-brainer. That for me was really key, because I tend to do like a bit of a peace test when it comes to different things in my life. If I don't feel at ease with certain things, I just can't put my all into it. And I just felt such a peace about the whole thing. So I remember I spoke to my family when I got back home, and I told them, listen, I'm going to do this thing this year. And they were like crazy. I'd be like, finally, like, hurry up, like, what are you doing? So they were really happy about that. And I remember I met with Zoe the very next day. Before we were married, we used to meet up every single New Year's Day, and we would talk about the previous year and the year coming, and we would write down our goals for that year. And I remember this was the first year that we wrote down our goals, and we would usually kind of pray about it, give it to each other, and we would see each other's goals for the year. And this was the first year we both had in our goals for that year to be engaged. We hadn't talked about it before that, but it was just both on our list. And that was a crazy defining moment for us. It was quite surreal, and we just felt like, this is it. We're like, this is the course that we're going to take now. So yeah, man, we really, really do believe that there's just going to be some times where you just, some key things that will just happen, and you'll be like, that's it. Yeah. And it just clicks.
Absolutely. So yes, guys, we have come to the end of the video. I know it was a bit solemn towards the end, but we truly believe in sharing these moments with you guys.
Absolutely.
Just to give you a real perspective on how you really know if the person you're with is the one or not. Like, are they willing to stay? Are they going to be there for you? Are they going to respect you? Are they going to love you? All these different things, and all the questions you need to ask for yourself as well, will help you to decide whether your bae is the one. So We hope you guys enjoyed this video.
And guys, if you feel this content has been valuable to you and you feel like you've learned something and you can think of someone that you know would really benefit from this video, please go ahead and share this with them. Also, please give us a big thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. And if you're new here, then please consider subscribing and joining us on our journey. But guys, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one. See ya! A couple of memories.
I know, babe. I saw you get a little bit teary.
Right, almost a couple of tears. That's a man though. Crying out here.